The summer transfer window is upon us, and as Man United fans, we have to look out for good news surrounding the team, both when it comes to the players leaving the club as well as players who are going to join us to strengthen our squad next season. Which is why throughout the rest of this video, we'll be discussing the players who are likely to leave the club and are part of Man United's departure list, and the players who are potentially going to serve as alternatives. Stay with me until the end of this video. First of all, let's discuss the situation of our defenders for next season. The first name that comes into mind, and to our surprise has had a really good season filling in for players such as Varane and Martinez, is Victor Lindelof. He definitely caught me off guard with his performance this season. It doesn't mean though that he had a perfect one. He made mistakes here and there, specifically when he was paired up with Harry Maguire. However, he really stepped up his game when he got to play next to Shaw. His performance has been so satisfactory that Manchester United will not sell him this summer, as coach Erik ten Hag reportedly sees him as an untouchable part of the team. Well-known journalist Fabrizio Romano has reported that as well. If you're not aware, Lindelof is entering the final year of his contract and has been linked with a move away. However, Ten Hag does not want to lose the center back this summer. Eintracht Frankfurt were reported to want the 28-year-old, while Atletico Madrid and Inter have shown interest since January. Personally speaking, I'm glad he's going to stay. The next player that we have got to talk about is Harry Maguire. There are so many rumors around the player. According to the latest reports in TalkSport, Harry Maguire is reluctant to leave Manchester United this summer. He wants to stay and fight for a place in Erik ten Hag's lineup. What's important is that this has disrupted Manchester United's plan for the transfer window. Other rumors were also suggesting that Man United officials are in favor of including him in the Harry Kane deal should it happen. Tottenham have reportedly been linked with a move for the Manchester United defender. The 30-year-old is expected to leave Manchester United in the summer in search of a regular playing time, and Tottenham could provide him with the opportunity to revive his failing career, as reported by The Telegraph. What has proven to be problematic is his weekly wage. He's paid £200,000 weekly. I know, when I found out about the number, I was baffled, to be honest with you. I think we have had enough of him, and he should leave the club for his own sake if he wants to be part of Gareth Southgate's England squad. Now let's touch on some of the alternatives. Kim Min-jae is a possible option. Reportedly, Manchester United is in contact with Kim Min-jae's agents. He's going to cost a number between 50 to 70 million pounds reportedly. When it comes to the player, he's a meticulous defender who can pass the ball easily. So should he be paired up with Varane or Martinez next season, we won't have any problems when it comes to build-up play and possessing the ball. I think the latest pieces of his statistics also revealed that he had the highest number of successful passes in Series A this season, which just speaks volumes for itself. I found him to be a really good signing. Now, you might be wondering what will happen to the likes of Eric Bailly and Alex Telles. Well, other players such as them are going to be sold as well to make room for other potential candidates. Next up on the list, we have got to talk about David Degea. His performance has been questionable at times this season, as we have talked previously. So questionable, in fact, that I've changed my mind about him recently. I was one of the player's defenders, but at this point, he has made so many mistakes this season that now I strongly believe that he shouldn't be the #1 goalkeeper next season, and I reckon Ten Hag is on the same page as well. He definitely needs a serious contender. David Raya is considered as an alternative. Rumor has it that Man United is considering the player, although there haven't been any contacts between Manchester United and the player yet. Guys, before we move on, leave a like if you found this video informative, and consider subscribing to our channel Always United, where we bring you guys the latest Man United news. Moving on, we have to talk about midfielders, and the first player is Donny van de Beek. Obviously, he had a horrible season due to injuries, and many reports naturally are suggesting that he's still part of Man United's departure list, but that's not the end of the story for him. According to recent updates from Fabrizio Romano, he wants to fight for his spot, but I don't think Erik ten Hag would take his word and actually count on him. Another reason that leads me to believe that is the fact that he might not fit into Man United's play style next season, which is going to be drastically different in comparison to this season. Now, as for Scott McTominay, all rumors are on the same page that the player wants more time to play, and he will most likely embark on a new journey somewhere else. Another player that might leave should we have new signings is Fred. In terms of alternatives, this is the main part of the pitch we'll be most likely seeing the most changes. The players that reportedly Manchester United officials have in mind are Frankie de Jong, Declan Rice, Mason Mount, Rabiot, and Caicedo. Now let's analyze each and every one of them separately. First off, we have got to talk about Frankie de Jong, who is the best case scenario for Ten Hag, but having seen how much Barcelona now relies on him to take Busquets' place, I highly doubt that he would leave Barcelona. Last season, we made an attempt for the player, but the transfer didn't happen, and as you guys know, the rest is history. When it comes to Declan Rice, we have done a whole video on the player. I had to repeat myself, honestly. I highly recommend you guys check out that video in regards to how he can be part of Ten Hag's talks planned next season if we don't get outbid by Arsenal or the player doesn't end up in Bayern Munich. I think Declan Rice is a phenomenal player, but we will have a fierce competition with Arsenal in order to get him, and knowing that the player is probably Arsenal's highest priority for next season, chances are that we will get outbid by them. As for Mason Mount though, Manchester United was supposed to enter talks with Chelsea regarding the player this week. I personally feel like acquiring him would be counted as a win, but by no means it is going to be an easy task. Reports claim that Man United officials have earmarked Mount as their priority target, with Erik ten Hag aiming to add more goals and assists from the middle of the park next season. Also, it is said that personal terms have already been agreed with Mount, but we will still have to settle on a transfer fee with Chelsea to secure his services. Speaking on Rio Ferdinand's YouTube channel 5, David Ornstein has now revealed that Chelsea are expecting £70 million up front for Mount, with £10 million in ads on. However, Man United are hoping to negotiate a lower transfer package to their £55 million valuation of the player. Another player that is likely to join the club is Adrian Rabiot, but he's not a top priority, and best case scenario would be to acquire the player as a free agent. Time will tell which players will actually make it to our squad next season. Lastly, it is time to dive into our attacking options for next season. Two players are definitely part of Man United's exit list, and I think we all agree they don't fit the criteria of a Man United player. The two of whom are Antony, Martial and weghorst. Frankly, I would be shocked to see them next season as part of the team, considering the performances they've had lately. I don't find them particularly useful players. Weghorst doesn't really have a positive impact when he's on the pitch, and as for Martial, every now and then he shows a spark of genius, but he seriously lacks consistency, and a lot of Man United fans are fed up. When it comes to alternatives, it would be a dream come true to acquire Harry Kane, but recent reports haven't been really encouraging since Daniel Levy doesn't want to sell him to a Premier League team. Maybe we can see him joining Man United next season if he doesn't wind up in Madrid. On the other hand, Rasmus Hojland is a far more possible option. His name is being heard a lot around the club recently, and reportedly the player himself wants to join Manchester United this summer, according to Manchester Evening News. The Danish wonder kid has emerged as one of Europe's hottest young striking properties at Serie A side Atlanta, even drawing favorable similarities to a certain Erling Haaland. So Ten Hag is considering Hojland as a replacement for Harry Kane as we try to significantly bolster our front line in preparation for a return to the Champions League next season. Now, rumors are also suggesting that should Qatar win the takeover race, they plan to at least make one high-profile acquisition happen. They want to make a player like Neymar the new face of Man United. We have done a full video breaking down the latest details when it comes to the takeover of the club, so definitely make sure to check it out. In terms of Mason Greenwood's situation, rumors are so contradictory. Some of them claim that Man United wants the player back, but they are looking for a way to redeem him. For instance, according to The Sun, Ten Hag wants the player for his team next season. Others are suggesting that he will get a second chance, but as a loan player at least for the next season. I wish Man United would stop keeping us in the dark. The internal investigation is still going on, which is a shame. I hope it comes to an end sooner rather than later, so we can know for sure what's going to happen to Mason Greenwood. On top of that, we have to also consider the latest controversy surrounding Antony as well. Considering his latest controversy, we have to keep an eye out for Antony's future in the club as well, since we might need to hire a new right wing should the situation go south. But that's a wrap for this video, guys. Let us know which players you want to see leave the club and which new players you want to see join us for next season. I'm dying to know your thoughts on the subject matter. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end of this video. If you want to hear more Man United news, here are some suggestions for you guys. But until next time, it's been a pleasure talking to you.